What's up, everybody? Finally back. Jeez, it's been a long time. And my wife is freaking getting mad at me, too. Just because she wants the goddamn garage cleared up. But yeah. So, it's been a long time. Been closing down a business, general contracting, getting back into automotive repair, fabrications, and even repossessions and tracking and skip tracing and the whole works. Pretty much like freaking Matt does. If you guys don't know who Matt is, Matt, freaking Repo Nut. What's up? Other than that, yep. So I'm building this car up. Hoping to try to get this thing done before, well, way before September. Hoping like 10 days before September, because actually, if anything, I want to bring this thing up to RigFest in Canada. If you guys don't know RigFest, go to onepuglife.com, or you can YouTube One Pug Life and type in RigFest, September 2nd. It's a great group of guys out there, so they're all pretty smart, pretty crafty. So, but other than that, back to the Jeep. So, got everything going on the Jeep. The Jeep's doing good. Freaking, I fucked up when I was putting the oil pump together. I ended up not putting the one filter screen in, so I had to take that all back out and put the new filter screen back in. Speaking of putting things back together, but yeah, so the engine's coming along. I built all the new wire harnesses. I copied some of the factory, but most of it's all brand new. All communication wires, everything. I mean, I ran everything in here is all new. I mean, you can see it's not cleaned wires. Those are new wires. Not cleaned wires. They're new wires. So I ran all new wiring. Bypassed a lot of the computer. Did a lot of bypasses on the computer. Actually, a lot of crossovers is what I did. I have a buddy that, really good buddy of mine, that he's a electronics engineer and communications data builder for a worldwide company. So he helped me do all the crossovers on that to bypass the computer from trying to shut my engine down when it doesn't need to be shut down because it's supposedly getting knocking or detonation, or the timing's not proper, so it wants to send the check engine light on. Not anymore. No more check engine light. The only way the check engine light will come on would be for the O2 sensor. Failure in the O2 sensors. The check engine light will come on now for the coolant reaching over 60 degrees over the 180 that I have in it now. So technically your engine overheat warning goes off at like 400 degrees. So that's like 200, almost 300 degrees over the engine's limit, which is kind of stupid by the manufacturers. So I've got it now set up to where the check engine light will flash at you and the dome buzzer will beep at you when the engine exceeds 60 over its set 180 temperature. So be able to catch the engine when it gets too hot quicker. Everything's been oversized. I've port and polished everything. Even the coolant, all the coolant gullies, everything's all been oversized. It takes a lot of time and to be very meticulous and be clean to where you get no fragments in the engine. But I got all the new motor mounts are in, engines in, the oil pumps in, as you can see down there. So you can see that the engine's in. I started getting the grounds in. Everybody, don't use anything but wicks. Wicks is where you want to be. On the Jeep, if you're going to want to put a good oil filter in your 4.7 Jeep or your Durango or your Dakota. I hate the Durangos. Sorry guys, if you own one, I hate them. They're pieces of shit. I'd rather take a Dakota over a Durango any day. I'll take a 4.0 Jeep over a fucking 4.7 Durango any day. I think they're just crap. This is the oil filter you want to use. You're going to want to use Wix 5.1 510085. That's not O, guys. Everybody says your numbers and stuff and says 51085. I will type in O, not 0. So you got to make sure you tell people when you have a number here, it's 51085, not O. O is a letter, not a number. So, but other than that, everything's coming along. It's just a sneak peek at the engine real quick. I got all the parts coming in today. Today I'm going to be cutting the old factory exhaust off so I can get the Walker exhaust. I got a 2.5-inch Walker catback exhaust system with a high flow catalytic converter. It's all in my storage right now. Sold the shop, so I'm in a really tight spot. So, but just to show you guys, I mean, attention to detail is my thing. Actually, I have to finish painting that, and I have to finish painting that upper core support, and then I have to do some touch up on the bumper right here. I got to cut that plate off. Actually, I don't cut the plate. It's actually this bolt right here. This fucker's in there good. I torched the shit out of that thing. You can see all the browning there. That fucker ain't coming out. So I'm gonna have to grind its head off, pull that plate off, and then drill out that bolt and put a new one in. But other than that, everybody, it's coming along. All this week, next week, and the week after will be all the reassembly videos. This is an actual video of today. I am posting this today. Actually, by the time this is posted, this will be I would have taken the video about 2 hours prior to the posting. So, Jeep's coming along. I'm just going to show you guys real quick where all the problems come from on these 4.7 liters. The 4.7 liters, this is the problems. These guys right here. These are all your problems that are on your freaking 4.7 liter heads. I have a lot of guys tell me it's the passenger side head that goes first. My luck has always been the driver's side head. Every engine I've had, it's always been driver heads. This will cause a ticking and knocking and poor idle and poor acceleration and misfire. Broken springs. This broken spring is actually from this head itself. Got the head for next near to nothing. Did the spring kit, works great. Nothing wrong with it. This is another problem. Lifters. See how it's all moved, it's all worn out. If you look at this, look at the bushing. See how it's all chrome by my thumb. See how it's all chrome on the edges of this bushing, but not in the middle. Yeah, this thing's been wobbling around. This is a good lifter. Nice and clean and chrome all the way through. No movement, nice and solid. Yeah, they're dirty, been sitting around. This is a valve. This valve right here. This valve has actually got a bad seat. Actually, it was a bad valve guide. And it wore up too much by my finger here. It wore out. This thing had a lot of slop in it. And then as you can see, on the valve seating area, you can see how wet it is. That's because it wasn't even seating properly. And then another problem is good old rockers. You should be able to spin this with your finger and it should go woo, like a little motor, like a little spinner, like a little stupid fidget spinner. Little fuck it spinner is what I call them. Freaking, yep, this is another problem. And I'm not doing anything to cause it to not spin, but as you can see, this thing does not spin. These are always your problems on most of all your heads. These are all poor maintenance. People always say, "Oh, I took care of my vehicle. I did everything that needed to be done. I did the oil changes regularly and everything." This guy right here, one owner of this Jeep, had his Jeep done at Jiffy Lube since the day he owned it. Every day. I opened up the engine. I find out that the engine had like a watery oil in it. The oil must have had a lot of water in it. Which means because they're buying it in bulk oil, pumping it from one tank to another tank to another tank to another tank to another tank. So the Jiffy Lube oils and stuff like that, yeah, they're the culprit of this. This is a really clean spring, but as you can see, there's rust down at the bottom. I just pulled this out of the engine no more than 3 days ago, and it's been in my garage. These were the lifters from it. One's good, one's bad. Whoa, as I throw shit around, as I throw everything around. The valves, I mean, the valve on this one, this was actually poor changing on the oil. The oil was good oil. This was another one owner vehicle. Oh, the springs. This engine only had, I think it was like 74,000. Yeah, 74,000, just under 80,000 miles. And this engine was done. One owner, guy kept it in the garage. There was actually no rust on the Jeep. It was a beautiful Jeep, but he junked it. Because fucking goddamn freaking Jiffy Lube doesn't use clean, non-hydrated oil. Like, you don't want hydrated oil, because hydrated oil means there's water in it. This engine, oil changes weren't done as regularly. This was owned by a lady. She didn't do the oil changes regularly. She checked the oil. It was always, she said the fluids were always at tip top. She had the filters always changed. She actually never changed the oil itself. And as you can see, she definitely did not change the oil, because that looks shiny in the picture and it's black, but there's barely any oil to it. She changed filters. This one right here, all the guides started wearing out, everything. All the guides everywhere. Actually, one of these lifters is from this engine, and you could see it was just starting to wear out, getting sloppy. This one right here came from an engine that the person had a bad intake manifold, and they were running the engine so rich that after a while it actually ended up burning the valves and then bringing in oil, and then the combustion in the engine, the carbon buildup got all over this thing, and it just ate all the bearings away on that poor engine. That was a second owner vehicle. The first owner was the kid's parents. It's a great Jeep. Man, that Jeep was nice. It was a really nice Jeep, better than those other two Jeeps. It was a nice overland, totally loaded, everything with all a bunch of bells and whistles, and yeah. The kid off-roaded it. Apparently there was some mud built up in the intake manifold, got hot, cracked it, and yeah, he just kept running it with a bad idle. He just kept running it, and he said he got about 6,000 miles out of a cracked intake manifold before the engine totally quit. So that's why it quit, is because, yeah, the bad rockers. So, but other than that, I mean, these engines, I mean, they last a long time. I mean, this one right here has got 200,000 miles on it, this Jeep, and Jeep's in great shape. It holds up nicely, so it's a matter of just taking care of your engine. If you're meticulous with your engine, it'll last a long time. But other than that, I'll get back to you guys with some more videos later on this week of the head assemblies and all that, and all the goodies going in. And hopefully by the end of next week, if not the week after, this bad boy should be up and running. Stay Puff should be puffing it nice and good. So yeah, can't wait to get this thing out of here. I got 2 more projects coming. I've got a 2002 Ford F-250 that I am doing a 2015 full interior and body conversion and chassis upgrade. So I'm making it from a 250 Super Duty to a F550 Super Duty that I got off one of my donor trucks. I already junked that truck. It was an old service body with a 12-foot Redding service body on it. No, that was a Knapheide service body on it. 7.3 diesel in it. Engine finally gave out after 500,000 miles. So we ditched the truck. It was a 2002 as well. So I'm converting my 02 F250 to a 2015 F550 Super Duty. And then I have now just picked up project number 3, which is a 2006 Ford Crown Victoria Police Interceptor, the P71 model. Straight from Arizona, Chief of Police. I want to say it was out of Mesa. One of the areas. I think Mesa is actually a county in Arizona. There's a town, but it's actually a county as well. But it was out of one of the Mesa counties police departments. Totally rust-free, one owner, which was a department. I plan on doing a turbo conversion on that 4.6 liter, doing a turbo on that one. And then the pickup truck. So stay tuned, guys. There's going to be a lot more projects coming along. And actually, I got some new mini bikes and some new pulling tractors and a bunch of goodies. So tons of videos are coming up real soon, guys. Keep tuned, subscribe, smash the like button, do whatever you want to do. Put your fucking asshole comments, put your positive comments, put your questions. I answer all the comments, all the questions, rude or not. All right, take care, guys. Catch you later.